Hey guys, Sergeant Paul Duncan here. I'm a recruiter for the Nevada Army National Guard. I've been getting a lot of questions about some of the benefits that come with joining the National Guard. So the purpose of this video is for you guys to get a better understanding of what the National Guard does and some of the benefits that we have to offer in the Nevada Army National Guard. So just keep in mind, I am speaking specifically to Nevada, so every state has its own state benefits when it comes to the National Guard. So this video is specific to Nevada. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what the National Guard does. I'll talk about some of the benefits that come with joining. I'll talk about the college money, and I'll talk about some of the minimum requirements to join. Okay, so the purpose of the National Guard is we have a state and a federal mission. The National Guard is the only branch of the military that is organized under the federal and the state. So what that means, in state emergencies, the governor has the authority to activate the Guard, and the federal government can request that the state loan the Guard to them in times of war. As far as overall control of the Guard, it falls under the state with all pay coming from the federal government. So we receive our orders primarily from the governor. Let's talk about the commitment. Every single person who joins the National Guard joins in a part-time capacity. Okay, there's always opportunities to do more than part-time, but to start, you're going to start out part-time. Okay, so that means that we are a very flexible branch of the military if you want to focus on college or another career. If you do the minimum, you have to train with us 1 weekend per month, so 2 days every month, and then a 15-day training period each summer, and we call that annual training. Of course, that's after you get done with initial entry training. So let's talk about initial entry training. First, you're going to go to basic training. Okay, remember, we wear the Army uniform, so we go through active duty Army basic training. So Army, Army Reserves, and Army National Guard all go through Army basic training. Okay, in basic training, you're going to be there for 10 weeks long, and you're going to learn the basic fundamentals of becoming a United States Army soldier. Okay, once you graduate basic training, you're going to go to what's called advanced individual training. That's where you're going to learn your job skill. Now, the length of training for advanced individual training can vary. It's between 6 and 80 weeks long. On average, you're looking at about 8 to 10 weeks, but it all depends on what job you choose, okay? The job that I'm talking about is referred to as Military Occupational Specialty, or MOS. Okay, while you're in initial entry training, you are going to have, first of all, you're going to have full-time pay, which I'll talk about here in a later slide. You're going to have everything else covered as well. So your meals are going to be covered, your lodging is going to be covered, and pretty much every other expense will also be covered. Literally, you show up to basic training with a backpack on your back and a change of clothes. The next day, you're going to have a uniform, and you shouldn't have to pay for anything else. So all the money that you make while you're in training, you're going to be able to save that money. Okay, I'll talk about training pay here in a minute. So from the time that you swear into the Army National Guard, you have to pick a ship date that's within 270 days from the time that you enlist. So from the time that you swear in until the time that you go to basic training, you're going to be in a program called the Recruit Sustainment Program. So this program is specific to the National Guard. It's a state-funded program that only the National Guard has. Okay, so the Recruit Sustainment Program, it's 1 weekend per month, and you're going to learn the basics of what you need to learn before you go to basic training. Okay, so that's called the Recruit Sustainment Program. You're going to build confidence before basic training, and you're going to get paid for it and get benefits at the same time. Let's talk about money for college. Most people join the National Guard between the ages of, I would say, 17 to 24, and their primary focus is college while they're in. Okay, so a Nevada specific benefit is we get 100% of our state tuition waived. So if you're going to a state of Nevada school, so meaning UNLV, UNR, CSN, Nevada State College, any of those colleges, any state-funded school, the state of Nevada will waive your tuition 100%. So that means free college tuition, full ride. Okay, now that is only available to Nevada State Guard members. Okay, if you're in another branch, if you're in another state, so let's say you're in the Colorado National Guard or the California National Guard, you would be subject to that state's benefits. So if you have questions about your specific state, go ahead and ask in the comments and I can try to find out for you. Okay, so on top of the state benefit, which is the 100% tuition waiver, we also get federal benefits. The main federal benefits for people who are part-time is the Montgomery GI Bill. So the Montgomery GI Bill is a check that the federal government writes to you to help aid in your college tuition. But since your college tuition is already going to be paid, this extra federal funding goes in your pocket. So on top of the state tuition waiver, you're going to get up to $375 a month, depending on how many college credits you're taking, okay? Plus, you're going to get your textbooks reimbursed. Plus, you could also qualify for the Montgomery GI Bill kicker, okay? Now, this is only available for certain positions, but your recruiter can help you with that, okay? And you also have to score a 50 or higher on the ASVAB test. The ASVAB test is the exam that you're going to have to take before you go in. Your recruiter will help you with that as well. Okay, if you qualify for the Montgomery GI Bill kicker, it's $350 a month. Most people will qualify for this. Okay, so now you're looking at over $700 a month on top of having your tuition paid. In addition to that, you might also qualify for the student loan repayment program, and you might also qualify to join ROTC and be what's called in the simultaneous membership program. If you have questions about the simultaneous membership program and ROTC, ask about it in the comments and I'll try to get you some answers for that as well. Okay, moving on to skill training. I'll come back to college in a minute. Okay, moving on to skill training. The National Guard as a whole has about 200 different types of positions within the National Guard. Now remember, there's 54 different National Guards, so 50 states, 4 territories. So there's over 200 positions within all 54 states. Okay, the Nevada Guard is a little bit smaller, but we still have a lot of different jobs that you can choose from. Okay, some examples of jobs that you can go into are medical, engineering, transportation, technology, combat arms, military police, public affairs, mechanics, human resources, and there's way more opportunities than just those, okay guys? Literally anything that you can think of, we might be able to find you a skill that would coincide with what you want to do, okay? Even if we don't have a skill that translates to what you want to do on the civilian side, we're still going to pay for your college, okay? Your military occupational specialty does not have to coincide with what your degree plan is, okay? Basic training and AIT, they're going to convert to college credits, okay? So basic training can be anywhere from 6 or more credits, I believe. I'll have to get verification on that. And then AIT could be even more credits depending on what job skill you go into and what your degree plan is. Okay, let's move on to drill pay. So drill pay is that 1 weekend per month. So Saturday and Sunday is a typical drill, okay? Let's talk about the pay scale really quick. If you enlist into the National Guard, you're going to be on a pay scale. All branches of the military are on the same pay scale. So that's E1 all the way to E9. Everybody who joins the National Guard joins in E1, but there's a lot of ways that you can get promoted all the way up to E3 before you even go to basic training, and we'll talk about that in a minute. If you join as an E1, your 1 weekend per month drill pay is going to be $218. If you're an E2, $244 per Saturday and Sunday. E3, $257 per weekend. Okay, some ways that you can get promoted. We have the Stripes for Skills program in the Recruit Sustainment program. You can ask about that in the comments. And then we also have the Stripes for Buddies programs, which is what most people choose to do to get promoted. We can talk about that in the comments as well. Okay, full-time training pay. If you join as an E1, if you go to basic training as an E1, you're going to make about $1,600 per month. E2, $1,800 per month. E3, $1,900 per month. Okay, remember, everything else is covered as far as expenses go. So uniforms are covered, food is covered, lodging is covered, your travel to and from there is covered. Okay, everything is covered. If you pay rent at home or you have dependents, you may also qualify for a basic allowance for housing, which is up to an additional $1,100 per month. Okay, if you want to know more about basic allowance for housing, go ahead and ask me about that in the comments. Some additional benefits. Okay, everyone in the military has access to really good health insurance, really good life insurance up to $400,000. We get federal retirement plan, okay? If you serve 20 years in the National Guard, whether it's part-time or full-time, you will be vested for retirement for the rest of your life. Okay, you can ask more about that in the comments. Space age travel, if you've never heard of that, it's very, very inexpensive travel to other countries. Okay, ask about that in the comments. VA home loan, once you've been in the National Guard for a while, you might qualify for a VA home loan. Military discounts, access to military installations. Okay, these are just a few of the additional benefits. If you have questions about any of these, please ask questions in the comments. Let's see, requirements. Okay, so your average age to join is between 17 and I would say 22. Okay, but you can be up to 34 years old and join. Okay, if you have to have a high school diploma to join, but if you're in high school and you're a junior, you may qualify for the split option program. Okay, split option program means that you will go through basic training and AIT separately. So you'll be a junior, and then in between your junior and senior year, the summer, you would go to basic training. When you come back, you would finish out your senior year drilling with us 1 weekend per month. And then after you graduate your senior year, you would move on to advanced individual training. And then after advanced individual training, you come back, go to college. Okay, you have to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident. You have to have a clean criminal background, and you have to meet height and weight requirements. Anything else, there's a lot more requirements that we can talk about in the comments as well if you have questions on that. If you have any other questions, okay, this was just a quick and dirty breakdown. If you have any questions, again, please ask me about them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. Please subscribe to this channel. I'm going to make more videos as people ask more questions. If you have questions about the Nevada National Guard and you want to ask me directly, you can follow at Army Guard Nevada and send me a direct message, and I will be happy to answer your questions there or in the comments. It's up to you. Again, feel free to ask any questions. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon.